everyone, welcome to Rationality.in. This is our series in which we pick a must-read book for product managers and briefly discuss its key takeaways. For this video, we have picked Deep Work, Rules for Focused Success in a Distracted World by Cal Newport. So let's get started. So let's start by building an understanding on what is deep work. Deep work, according to the author, is the professional work that requires complete focus and full concentration. And in this state of distraction-free concentration, it pushes our cognitive abilities to extreme limits. So, it enhances our performance and productivity. This is essential for knowledge workers, especially in the areas of art, science, and business. In today's world of innovative technologies, organizations have the opportunity to find the best-in-class talent from around the world. And it is a winner-take-all model where the best talent gets all rewards and recognitions. So, to stay competitive and relevant, one has to practice deep work to learn things quickly, ease the complexity around the world, and perform at the elite level. Now, to distinguish deep work, we need to also understand what is shallow work. Shallow work are the tasks or activities that can be done while you are distracted or not paying full attention. For example, consider that you are in a meeting but reading mails, replying to tweets, looking at the calendar, sipping coffee, and doing multiple other things. In modern times, with the shifts in technology and advent of social networks and other distractions, in the name of staying connected, collaboration, and doing multitasking, most of us are used to the shallow work. However, shallow work has limited value, hence it could be automated or skipped altogether. Shallow work does lead to busyness because you might be involved in 10 different things, attending meetings, answering a lot of emails, doing a lot of multitasking the whole day, but all this is at the cost of performance and productivity. So the examples of shallow work, as we just discussed, are attending meetings, answering emails, doing paperwork, telephone calls, chats, conversations, etc. Practicing deep work is not easy. It requires deliberate practice, uninterrupted concentration to deliberately avoid all distraction and keep the focus intense and intact on the work in hand. This helps in producing the elite work, which equals to the time spent on your task multiplied by your intensity of focus. Multitasking and switching between various tasks leads you to suffer from attention residue. That is, a part of your attention clings to the previous task. This lowers your ability to focus on the task in hand and hence reduces your performance level. Deep work has its basis in science, especially in the studies of consciousness. According to a famous scientist, Winifred Gallagher, attention improves the quality of life and hence helps in leading a good life. Paying attention is very critical because the brain creates experiences based on your attention, where you focus, how you approach these experiences, and this plays a major role in shaping your emotions and has an effect on the results as well. Putting emphasis on the positive aspects of your reality trains your prefrontal cortex to keep your amygdala from firing as strongly in response to negative stimuli. The same science is also applicable for deep work. In deep work, you focus on the topics that matter, and this helps in reshaping the reality positively. The structured nature of deep work generates a psychological state called flow, a state where a person performing an activity is fully immersed in a feeling of energized focus, full involvement, and enjoyment in the process of the activity. This makes deep work rewarding. There are 4 rules that can help anyone to embrace deep work. Work deeply, embrace boredom, quit social media, and drain the shallows. Let's take a look at each of these. First, work deeply. Yes, it sounds similar to the very concept of deep work, and that's what author tries to convey. To practice deep work, you should start with a resolve to work deeply, ignoring all distractions. Distractions in general can be of 2 types, internal and external. Internal distractions are the bodily desires like food, sex, etc. External distractions are generally social or technological in nature. For example, urge to watch a web series, checking Twitter, looking at Facebook profile, etc. There are multiple philosophies that one can adopt to practice deep work. The first one is monastic philosophy, which is to completely shutting down oneself off from the world to indulge in the intellectual work. The second one is bimodal philosophy, that is an alternate extended periods of deep work with periods of normal world routine. Most academicians and researchers use this philosophy, in which they typically keep themselves indulged in their research and academic activities, but take time offs in between to catch up with the worldly affairs. The third one is rhythmic philosophy that recommends one to plan and schedule a daily deep work session at a particular time in the day. This leads to a chain method of adding a new link of deep work each day. However, people who find it tough to have a common daily routine switch to a journalistic philosophy where they take breaks to switch to deep work mode to work on their core projects. There are multiple examples like J.K. Rowling, who checked into hotel to finish writing the Harry Potter book, or Bill Gates' Think Weeks, where he takes time off from Microsoft to focus on his intellectual activities. Now, coming on to the second rule. The second rule is embrace boredom. Now, why should we embrace boredom? It is because to practice deep work, we have to get rid of two key problems of today's world, to which we are so used to. These are addiction and distraction. Addiction need not only be for intoxicants. It can be digital, social, and emotional as well. That urge to check your mobile every once in a while, or get out with friends for a party, or talking to your better half or besties for hours together to feel better. These compulsions lead to distractions, and without them, there will be utter boredom, right? So it is important to consciously organize oneself to make focused concentration and practice it regularly to make it an habit. The habit much needed for deep work. The third rule is quit social media. Social media has taken birth to cater to your emotional and social needs, the need to have a belongingness and a community. But it has gone beyond that. People have developed addiction towards it, and the platforms are designed in a way such that it nudges users periodically to use them more and more. These tools take you on a roller coaster ride. Sometimes gives you the great happiness, but at other times it drains you emotionally as well. And more importantly, it is a key distraction that refrains you from practicing deep work. So evaluate all these tools, reflect upon it, use the Pareto principle, and identify top 2 or 3 goals in professional and personal arena, and then review these tools on how you are using it and how you should be using it, and then chalk out a plan to use them for a purpose, to achieve your goals and not for entertainment. The fourth rule is drain the shallows. This rule suggests to focus more on the quality of work rather than quantity. Hence, practice deep work and let go of all shallow work that you do. Plan and schedule your workday, group batches of related activities together, and try to ensure that the shallow work is out of your way. Interruptions will happen initially, and so also the problems with your estimation of the work when you go deep into it. Once you are engrossed in a work, you will start getting that flow, which will probably go beyond the planned time blocks. There is nothing wrong with that. That's the intention. So revisit your schedules and make changes from time to time. Goal is not to rigidly adhere to the schedule, but to practice deep work. Now that we understand what is deep work and we understand the 4 key rules behind it, let us understand how to make the most out of it. Now, deep work is typically exhausting. Most people can do at maximum 4 hours of deep work per day. Hence, plan your work routine to have a mix of both shallow and deep work. Have uninterrupted time blocks for deep work and then keep 30 to 50% aside for shallow work, like replying to mails, attending meetings, etc. There could be a lot of shallow work demanding your attention, but be picky about it and select only those that matter. Answer only those emails that makes a difference. Attend only those meetings that has a huge value add to your professional work. Protect your time. People tend to send emails or meeting requests casually, especially the weekly meetings, sync ups, etc., with no much agenda in it. Don't bother. Don't accept such meetings. Don't answer ambiguous open-ended emails that has no value add. Make it harder for them to reach you. So those were some knowledge nuggets or key takeaways from the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. Hope you found the information useful. We would recommend you to read the full book and get more insights out of it. Thank you.